All right, so you should have just watched the video where somebody else described how to use an architect scale. Here's my attempt to clarify some things. Okay, so you have to picture that this video that I have here, or that what I have on my screen, is one of those triangular architect scales like you have at home. So you should have that in front of you, have it in your hands, and I want you to find the scale and that says 16 here, just like I have on the screen. And I always want you to turn the number, the scale that you're working with, to the left. What this scale means is it's telling you that like 1/4, if it said 1/4 here, that means that 1/4 inch on paper equals a foot in real life. Okay, so this scale of 16 is one that we're not going to use very commonly in landscape architecture. But what I want you to see is this number here, this scale, corresponds with the 0. So you're looking at this line, 0 to 1, 1 to 2. You're going to see other little numbers on your scale that are up here farther. Those numbers are coming from the 0 at the other end of the architect scale and whatever scale that is at the other end. Okay, so let's move on here. I want you to find the 1/4 inch scale. So pause this video for a second until you find it and flip it so that it's on your left on the top of the scale. Okay, what this means here, so this is our 1/4 inch scale, and this is what we're going to use for our landscape design. It means that 1/4 inch on paper equals a foot in real life. Okay, so we're going to go find the 0. So we're following these bigger numbers on the bottom here. So this means this is 0 feet. This line would be 1 foot on your scale. This is 2 feet, 3 feet, 4 feet, and so on. These little numbers, the 88 and the 92, those numbers are coming from the scale that's on the other end of this architect scale. Okay, so those numbers are corresponding with that. You can kind of ignore those for now. Okay, so if I were to put a line up here, and let's just see how this goes. If I start here and I put a line to right there, okay, how long is that line? So you have your scale. It goes from 0 to 2, and those numbers are corresponding to this 1/4 inch scale. So this line that I have here on my screen is 2 feet. Using the scale 1/4 inch equals 2 feet. Now, if I slid my line to right here, how many feet long is that line? Okay, your answer should be 3. Here's 0, 1, 2, 3. Okay, just to make this a little bit trickier, let's go back here. Okay, how long is this line? Sorry, it's not quite straight. That's going to bother me. Assume that it lines up here perfectly. Okay, so logically, you could look at this and say, okay, it's more than a foot, less than 2 feet, and it's right in this tick mark in the middle, so that's got to be a 1.5 feet, right? The way that you would actually do this is you would take your scale and slide it, okay? And I'm just going to manipulate this a little bit. So imagine that I'm sliding the scale on paper, even though I can't. I would want to line up the end of my line. I wish you guys were just here. I know that we'd be able to do this pretty quickly in class, but do you see what I'm trying to do? I'm trying to make my line go where it's supposed to. Just imagine, okay, this line is going from here, this line to here, this center point, okay? So I'm gonna try one more attempt to, it's not lining up. You get what I'm doing. Okay, so I'm gonna put the end of my line here at the last whole number. Okay, I don't want to slide it to 2 because this line is less than 2 feet. So I'm going to slide it over so that the end of my line lines up with 1. Okay, so this line is 1 feet long, and then all of these tick marks to the left of the 0, all of these, from 0 to the end of the tick marks always represents 1 foot. Okay, no matter what scale you're on, this is representing 1 foot in inches. Okay, so you always have to look at how many little tick marks are there. So here if I count, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, right? There are 10 lines. I don't count the 0. I start counting right here at that one, 1. Okay, so that means each one of these tick lines or tick marks is 1 inch. So I would say that this blue line is 1 foot 6 inches long because I can count over here 6 tick marks to the left of the 0. Those are representing inches. Hopefully that makes a little bit of sense. We're going to switch to a different scale, okay? Just because I really want you to see this. So I'm going to put another line up here. This is the 1 inch scale, meaning 1 inch on paper equals a foot in real life. Okay, so how many feet is this line? Your answer should be 1. Okay, so now if I switched this, and let's say I did a line that's like this. Okay, I might have to adjust this when I slide it down. I'm going to line this up with the 0 because this line's less than a foot. For simplicity, I'm going to make it even here. Okay, so this line was less than a foot, so I'm going to slide it back to the last whole number, which is 0. And if you count now to the left of the 0, there are a lot of little tick marks. But what you should see is this mark right here, this one that's a little bit longer, that's 1 inch. This is 2 inches. This is 3 inches. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So the length of that line is 9 inches. Okay? I'm hoping that that makes a little bit of sense. What we would normally do in class is I'd give you some lines and I would have you measure them and we'd practice. We can't really do that over the computer very well. So what I want you to do, just as your assignment here, to see that, help me see that you understand this concept, I want you to do, and I'll put this on the post too, I want you to create some different lines for me, okay? And you're gonna have to either take a picture of your architect scale laying right next to the line so I can see that you got it, or you're going to have to do a little video. Okay, you might be feeling a little bit social and want to actually interact with people, so if you want to do a video and say hi to us, that'd be perfectly fine. But I want you to use the 1/4 inch scale, okay? And there's going to be like 5 different measurements that I want you to measure out with a 1/4 inch scale on your architect scale. Draw it on a piece of paper, and then I want you to put your scale right next to it and either snap a picture of each one or do a little video once you have all 5 done, and put your architect scale next to each line so that I can see that you have got this, okay? So a little bit of creative grading. If you have no clue, send me an email, give me a call, we'll set something up and we can maybe set up a Zoom to help you out. Good luck.